次眼睛。
Ow, stop it. 60 and then 7. There we go. Yeah. Okay. I think we're good to go. Wang Leehom or Leehom Wang. I want to say something before I get into this live stream. I think when I started doing these reviews, way back in Billy days, I was told of a few musicians to stay away from. Just because they had like bad reputations or they'd done stuff that weren't entirely ideal. I want to emphasize the fact that, you know, if this guy has done anything profusely shitty, I don't advocate or endorse it. And I honestly hope that he suffers for his mistakes that he's made and that the people that he's hurt, I hope that they can find some way to heal from the damage that's been done. I'm only doing this today as a top 5 Spotify because fans have requested it. So just putting that out there before we get started. I do not advocate for like, someone said he was like a bad husband, so I assumed that he might have done some stuff to his wife. If that is the case, then, you know, he's a terrible husband. He's a terrible person. I've been asked to review his music today. I can't guarantee that I will enjoy it. All I can do is do my best to review it. And, you know, while it is at my sort of like leisure, you know, I try to do the stuff that fans put forward. And to be fair, I put a lot of musicians before Wang. You know, if what people are saying to me is true about this guy, I don't really want to do more for him. Because I don't really have respect for people who behave like that. And I don't think that they should be promoted or endorsed. Not that people really sort of care about this channel at this point. I don't mean that in a passive-aggressive way. Literally, the channel's kind of stagnant in its growth at the moment. But just so you understand, I don't endorse this at all. If he's done some really crappy stuff. But yeah, we're gonna look through this today. We're gonna listen through each of these 5 tracks. I'm not sure what this translates to. Some of these websites that we've got here, they don't show like, yeah. Just in case people were thinking I wasn't aware, I am aware of it. And I think it's actually fair to say that this is literally one of those situations where if he has done some terrible stuff, you have to separate the person because I'm literally reviewing his music. But yeah. Yeah, we're just getting started. I'm not sure what this first track is. The translation I've got here isn't giving me the actual name for it, which is annoying. Translation in English. Hang on, I'll see if I can go back. I can't go back. Okay, that's fine. We're going to listen through each of these tracks from start to finish, these top 5, and hear what we think. Let's go. Let's do it.
窗户让孤单透气，这一间屋子如此密闭，欢呼声仍飘在空气里，像空无一人一样华丽。
Okay, then his guitar, the guitar parts of the vocals are nice and soft.
我渐渐失去知觉，就当作是种自我逃避。
I mean, the guitar and the piano are mixed well. It's like a balladesque kind of format.
飞到天的边缘，我也不再落在
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it.
一 个我需要梦想，需要方向，需要眼泪，更需要一个人来点亮天的黑。我已经
It's mixed well. The panning's interesting.
无法抗拒，无路可退。这无声的夜，现在的我需要人陪。
It's nice to have these kind of bluesy kind of ornamentations going on here. Final thing I say about this as well, just out of my mind. I'm aware that I don't have both sides of the argument about this guy and what he's done. So, like, I'm aware there could be some nuance I'm missing here. I'm just going by what I've been told. And if that stuff is true, that's why I'm not sort of like that's why I'm not going further into it. That's why I'm not talking about specifics, because I'm not sure. But I know there's people who maybe expect me to know. So yeah. Yeah. I mean, if it's the same situation as Johnny Depp, then I'd need to look at that myself. I can't really comment about it. Like, literally, I'm putting that as a disclaimer just so that people don't think I'm advocating for anyone who goes near that kind of stuff. Does that make sense? It's just me sort of trying to cover my ass, I suppose, but also because as a person, I don't really like the situation regardless. And I think it's fair to say that Johnny Depp, even if it wasn't as, Johnny Depp still did some really sort of awful shit, regardless of whatever the truth is, like he admitted to some real stupid stuff that he did in the heat of the moment. But yeah. I mean, the music is palatable. A little bit of vibrato going on there. I mean, like, these vocal harmonies on top are nice. Honestly, like, talking about this dude is honestly more interesting to me than reviewing his music. But also, I feel it's unfair for the people that have asked me to review his music to not do it the same justice that other musicians deserve, despite his character. You know what I mean? It just seems like a complete shit mess to me, Seems like a complete mess, regardless of what the truth is. Oh, that's kind of twisted, isn't it? If that is the case. Took his ex-wife to several mental facilities and accused her of being insane. That's some crazy stuff, man. If that is the case, if it is, because I don't know, if that is the case, that's kind of raucous, isn't it? That's unsettling. That seems really debilitating. That's not nice to his partner at all, And what about the kids, right? Great resonance on those cymbals, though, to be fair. Nice little bit of dynamic range there as well. It's kind of charming to listen to. Who is singing alongside Leehom? Is it the same? Is it a person he knows? Is it just the typical backing vocalist that he has there? It'd be quite nice to know, you know what I mean? Little bends and slides on the guitar are charming. It's a very safe composition, though. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, regardless of how yeah, we're just gonna have to find out. I I think Leehom has a better vocal performance than Jay Chow. That's a really tricky thing to say, Martin. And sorry, I haven't said hi to everyone. I've been in my own thoughts. We've got Martin, Charles, Tupac, Shen Yida. Sup, Shen? How you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Charles, Tupac, Desmond, Paul. That's great. I'm glad that Lee Holmes. It's often the talented people that have these issues. I find, you know. Again, really competent performance across those different instruments. I've got no real complaints about it. I getting back to what I was talking about with Jay Chow, by the way, because my thoughts are kind of going all over the place. I don't think that you can compare Leon Wang and Jay Chow's vocals. They're very different. I think Jay Chow had to go through a Bildungsroman-esque kind of development path to be able to get to where he was by his sort of 5th, 6th, and 7th albums. I personally feel that his earlier stuff wasn't as strong as this vocally. But his latest stuff, I think it's definitely up there, if not better than that. That's just how I feel subjectively, and after reviewing all of those albums from Jay Chow. The Me Too thing is really difficult. Yeah, man. I suppose all you can try and do is figure out the truth. If it's there, you know. If it's there, everyone has their own side, but there's things you can cross-reference and corroborate, then that's the best you can do, right? Yeah, definitely. We are doing the music, man. We're reviewing it, but also I want to talk about it. You know? This is basically fan service. It's me reviewing tracks and musicians that people send through that I haven't heard before. It's chill, man. It's chill. We'll go at a steady pace. We got a while. Open windows to let lonely breathe. The house is so sealed. Life is still floating in the air. Gorgeous. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, shit. I think people have some I welcome people to talk about this. If you guys have got feelings and thoughts about this stuff, talk in the chat. Just obviously, please, let's just try and hear each other out within reason, right? But yeah, lyrics. It's kind of a self-escape. You fly to the edge of the sky. Close day, less of warm. I'm gonna be honest with you, these translations are a little bit rough. I don't know if you're aware of that by looking at it. Yeah. I already helpless, can't push back, and no way to step back, no way to go back, I suppose. The silent night in prison, needed someone to get alone. Need tears. More need a man who can light the dark sky. So my take on this track, this first track here, is that he's discussing living in a house with someone and having that connection, that situation with them. And maybe they realize that being together, they need different things. And like they're looking to go back, but they can't go back. So they're kind of suffering from that. Maybe that's why there was the mystery woman's voice later on, because she was kind of feeling the same way as well. And they managed to sort of like come to terms with that and kind of make peace with that. Or maybe they never did make peace with that, It's a tricky thing. That's my interpretation of the track, though. It wasn't a particularly exciting track for me. I didn't feel motivated or the sense of nostalgia or anything like that, but I can appreciate Leon Wang's vocal chops and his proficiency on the piano and guitar. I think that's great. Yeah. See, this is some crazy stuff, man. His ex-wife leaked security footage last year of Leehom brought several men to his ex-wife's house and tried to rob her children. If that is true, and I'm going to keep saying that because I don't want to get in trouble. If that is true, that's insane, dude. That's some wild stuff. Wow. And Tom, man, story about me. We used to have clean ladies to clean my place every 3 weeks. One time they did a bad job. My partner sent an email to complain about the quality went down. She responded back, accused me of being disturbing and making the girls uncomfortable when she bent her knees on the floor. Oh, that's rough. It's you'd think that it was one of those situations where, like, if you just didn't do it, you'd have a clean. Like, I trust you didn't do anything weird. They'd have to have evidence of that, right? Like, would they have been coached into thinking that, like, they would corroborate that you had done that? I'm not sure. It's tricky, man. Cause yeah, it's a wild live stream we're having today. Blue Dinner Box. I'm not a big fan of Leehom's music, but I don't hate the music. Well, I'm glad that you don't hate the music. Again, I don't think this music is inherently dislikable, but we're going to listen to track 2 now anyways. Going to listen to track 2. Jin Tiao, Heartbeat. Let's go. Let's do this. Go. Track 2. I like the sine waves in his glasses. That's kind of dope. Okay, this is a little bit fresher than the previous one. Is this more recent? 2008. I'm just gonna make sure I did the volume right, because otherwise this is gonna potentially irritate people. So is it 60 and 7? No, that's gonna be 60 and 7. Cool. I did get that right. Yeah, man. I'm sorry to hear that, Tom. That's really rough. Hopefully you can find other people to do that. That won't be like that, you know? Yeah, RG, right. It's going to be one of those live streams, dude. Honestly, I'd rather people talk about it. I encourage people to have open discussion about it. As long as there's no bullying or anything like that, you know. It's yeah, I'm aware. I put a disclaimer at the start of the live stream to talk about that I'm aware of it, and that it, if the stuff's true, I don't endorse it and all that kind of stuff. A little bit of a bell tree there and the tinkle there. Nice vibrato passage there, held notes. Yeah, clearly a competent vocalist. Oh, and that's a gorgeous little lead there on the guitars, to be fair. Really pretty lead guitar. I really like that lead guitar tone there. It's a nice alternate voicing to Leehom there in the center of the stereo field. Oh, we kind of... Oh, we backed off a little bit. That was unexpected. I was expecting that lead guitar to continue a little bit more, but no, we're just going back into the verse. Okay. Oh, sorry guys. So Spotify is doing this thing at the moment where you click on the track, and even if you don't click on the plus or the play button, it still starts it. It's very frustrating. Hang on. Okay, we'll start from here again. Yeah, I wish they did too, LC. I'm sorry, I know I've heard this part. I made the mistake of clicking another track just to set it up for the next one, but it's fine. We'll get over it. We'll get past it.
不懂得道歉，我没那么聪明，好想要回到我们的原点。但三不由己出现在胸口，两颗心能塞几个问号。
The Tom stuff that they're doing on the drums is kind of dope. I look like a drug dealer right now, eh? And this is a new shirt. And I look like a drug dealer mixed with like the first stage of the Malekith boss fight from Elden Ring. Yeah, nice panning of those vocals here in the second half. I'm like there's great vocal ornamentation, but I'm not really sure if I feel anything or resonate from it. It almost sounds like that the drum kit is a bit too dry in the mix. Like it could have had some extra reverb or something. I'm not sure why they wanted that sort of choppy tone to the acoustic kit. But I suppose there's already so much. I suppose it was 2008. I suppose it was 2008, right? And you know, 2008 was like the time of like the alt rock sort of new metal emo sort of stuff, and the dubstep stuff kind of came in later on, and like yeah, I think some of his stuff is region locked, Paul, to be fair. I'm sorry to hear that, by the way, Tom. I'm sorry to hear that you went through that, Tom. Hopefully they're doing better now, even if their career is ruined. Are we going to continue with a solo? Oh, a little bit more. Cool. Good. Now this is yeah, I'm happy with this actually. I'm happy with this voicing here. This is something sort of semi-unique. Yeah, no, I have a lot of respect for that guitar solo there. I'm gonna give that a like. That voicing of that there was phenomenal, dude. What a slick little tapped kind of legato passage there at the end. It's classy as hell, man. I mean, this is a very common chord progression. There's nothing revolutionary being done here aside from that actual guitar solo. That was great. You know. Yeah. I enjoyed that guitar solo, dude. That's kind of what I want a lot of the time from Jay Chou, but then Jay Chou provides a lot of other really cool things as well, you know? Oh, nice little accent on the right side there with that higher note. What do I want to say about this track there before we go into the lyrics? I think this sounded like a bit of an extension of what we had from 2010. It almost seemed like 2010 was a bit too conservative for my tastes personally. So did he release other albums? Compilations. Oh no, he's released albums since then. The Free Show 2014. He released an EP, another EP, another album, but didn't get quite the attention it did before. Oh yeah, he has been affected by it, eh? His career has been affected by it. You can tell that there's not nearly as much love. Not nearly as much love as there used to be. I mean, like, he's got 12 million plays, and now it's like, yeah, that's rough. That's rough. Yeah, I'd agree, Tupac. I mean, hopefully you guys have a good time at the party tomorrow, Tom. But a 2-pack, yeah, I think that this track does sound very similar to the other one, to be fair. And I'm glad, Paul. I'm glad that he plays his guitar solos. That's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, his career's done. Yeah. Yeah, his career's done. And I don't mean that in a patronizing sort of, yay, I'm not excited for that. I don't want a musician's career to end. You know, it's never a fun thing, man. Sometimes people just get, it's like 50 Cent. Well, no, it's not like 50 Cent. 50 Cent's just bankrupt and does NFTs and stuff like that, I think. I could be wrong. But look. We're going to go into the lyrics anyways. Heartbeat. Oh, do you think he married to a lady just presenting the picture but still secretly gay? Oh, Tom. Oh, Tom, I know I'm not RG right, but oh, buddy, I know guys like that. I know older men like that who did that because they didn't want people to know. And if that's not a thing here in New Zealand, I know for sure there are countries where that is absolutely not a thing and people do that all the time, you know? All the time. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of people, Martin, I think a lot of people don't want revolutionary stuff. A lot of people just want palatable, easily digestible music that makes them feel good. And that's fine. As someone like me whose dopamine receptors are burnt out after years of doing this, I need a bit of spice with my meal, you know. You know, I like a bit of spice with my meal. I've shown you guys the kind of heavy metal stuff I listen to. So I can nonetheless appreciate what's going on here in regards to the effort portrayed. But yeah, you want to pick a fight with me while I have better things to do? This is a better translation. A better translation. How many tears will love let us? That's rough. That's a plot twist, man. Getting married to a lesbian. I cannot imagine that, dude. It'd be like, what? That'd hit you when they weren't even attracted to you anymore, you know? That's rough. Yeah, I think that this track is about him, like, they had a fight. They had something initially between them that was really deep and meaningful, and eventually just turned to shit, just turned to custard. Yeah. The way his love's grown, it's hard to return to the beginning. You know, he regrets the pain that was caused. He regrets the journey that they had. Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. Does this song sound like it? Does this song sound like the lyrics? I suppose the guitar sounds like it's mourning a loss, you know, a loss of a loved one, a loss of a relationship. At this point, with these top fives, I'm going to level with you guys here. I legitimately just don't really... I don't even think it's worth focusing on whether the instruments were played proficiently, because it's always just clean. The stuff that, I mean, I will continue to do that, but it's been such a... I don't think I've ever heard a note out of place with these major label artists. I think predominantly because they do not allow these tracks to leave without it being damn near flawless. The Shang Yu Sheng stuff and the Beyond stuff is some of the most raw, authentic material I've heard. And some of the earlier J stuff as well. But a lot of the stuff that we listen to here is like meticulously produced. And if there was a wrong note, you wouldn't hear it. But yeah. His vocals are good. He plays the guitar well. The solo is nice and succinct. Yeah. And we've got Still in Love with You. Another love song. Track number 3 today, boys and girls. That's a reverberation and oscillation with the organ. He likes his acoustic hits. he doesn't really seem to like to go towards that electronic stuff. I know a lot more of that sampling happened in the 2010s, but still.
一个方向顺时钟，不知道还有多久，所以要让你懂，我依然爱你。
No, 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 no. Don't put the turntable in there, dude. That is one of the worst turntable sounds I've heard in a song. Like, can we go back and listen to that?
时钟，不知道还有多久，所以要让你懂，我依然爱你。
Oh, there's no bass response to it. It's like it's filtered or something like that.
是唯一的退路。
Okay, there's some intense panning there. What is this? 2011. Oh my god, I'm losing my mind with Spotify, dude. I'm sorry. Like, I click it, and it's, I don't know whether it's just something that's updated. Thank you. Okay, we're continuing now. Is there more spicy stuff going on in the chat? Uh-oh. Oh, that's a fun little melody on top, though. It's pretty. Really intense panning of those backing vocals, though. I'm not really sure if I enjoy how wide they are. Like, it seems like it's been, like, panned so that it's almost sound design. Really cute sort of barbershop quartet kind of vocals there. It's an interesting choice to have an acoustic guitar here. I agree with the choice from Leehom Wang here. I don't think electric would have suited the tonality of the rest of the piano and drum parts and all that, but at the same time, maybe the mid-focus was deliberate. Yeah, the mixing and mastering is sensational. It sounds nice and balanced. You know, I've got no real complaints about that. There's a hell of a kick to that kick, if you know what I mean. Like, it just doofs. There's a doof sound to that kick, and it kind of peps you. Kind of gives you a little pep talk and tells you to step it up a little bit. I like the side chaining there. There's a polish to the production that I appreciate. It almost seems like some of the parts are a little bit separate when they don't, or they're not all together. If that makes sense at all. Yeah, great choice with the organs with the soft vocals. Interesting. Interesting track. I mean, yeah, I don't get the album art, man. I don't get the album art. Like, you look at this. this really intense album art of him in like black, like the Matrix or something, holding a little cup. Thank you. Thank you, Andres. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. It's one of those streams, man. I'm having a good time with the music, but it's intense. It's intense subject matter, you know. It's been a while since I listened to a musician like this. Yeah, I'm gonna try not to talk too much about it, simply because I'm gonna try not to talk about it too much simply because I don't know enough about the situation. But I hope they find the truth about all this kind of stuff at some point. But yeah, thank you, Andres, for that. Yeah, still in love with you. Oh, sorry, I got distracted, didn't I? Why is this album art the way it is? Why is this? What does this have to do with the tone of the track? Like, I'm curious, man. I need to hear the other song. Here, what about this? Oh, okay, cool. That makes sense. That makes sense then. That makes sense. The album art makes sense when you show the first track. But the yeah. Yeah, okay. All right. I was just wondering how that second track had to do with this. It's kind of wild that they put all this effort into the album art and the second track is like way bigger than that. But anyways, look. I didn't really like the third track that much. We'll have a look at the lyrics. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, left a trace of our time. The core of my world is still you. A year passes after another, and time disappears merely within the blink of the eye. And only thing that doesn't change is the never-ending change. That's a cool lyric. The only thing that doesn't change is the never-ending change. I like that lyric. That's creative. That's classy. This may surprise you, but I have a better time with the lyrics when I can understand them. My eyes, your smile is still beautiful. This time I can only go forward in one direction following the clock. Yeah, so yeah, I do think that this track is about people falling in love with someone and loving them no matter what happens and being faithful. You know. Yeah, you know. That's a trip, man. That's a trip. But yeah, do I think that made sense with this music? I can hear the lyrics. I can hear that lyrics would match to the music to a certain extent. I don't know though. Like I kind of, you guys have heard me complain about this. I'm trying not to complain today. This live stream's so awkward. Yeah, I feel you. It's a little bit different than usual, but this is okay. Look, honestly, this is the thing with top 5 Spotify's, man. I have been asked to do Wang Leehom for a long time, and I've had it on the schedule, and I said to people that I would do it at some point, and we're doing it. We can do May Day next time. We can do May Day. Oh, guys, look, we're going to have a few non-controversial ones after this. We've got May Day, and we've got Amazing Show. Those are the next 2 top 5 Spotify's we have. So that's going to be good. I'm not a huge Leehom fan. Oh, thank you, Tom. Yeah, honestly, like, thank you. It is genuinely nice just to be sitting here chatting to you guys about music, though. It's really good. And I agree. Let's figure out what the truth is. And Andreas, it does feel like infotainment. You're absolutely right. This is lots of education. Lots of education today. What is track 2 though? Track 2 is translation in English 96%. Oh, we've got a line that isn't translated because I couldn't figure out how to do it. That's okay. Oh. Did we? Assumes that. I agree with you. Yeah, we have. I remember now. So the next one will be a May. Yeah, Wang Feng is one that I think I have on the list as well. Yeah. So hopefully Amazing Show will be a little bit less intense. Yeah. Yeah. Oh guys, wanna see my battle scars? Look at this. So we're looking at moving house at the moment. And look, can you see that? Can you see that? That's a cat. So yeah, pro tip: if you guys move house, find yourself some drugs to get your cat chill with. Oh no. Oh no, the lack of dynamic range. I remember now. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, no. There should be a little dollar thing on the chat bar. There should be a little dollar thing on the chat bar. I think that's how you do it. I know that we have the ability to do them because Andreas. Nah, I held on for dear life. I held on for dear life. The cat was pretty brutal, man. The cat got me good, dude. Yeah, I think, yeah. What are we doing? Come on, Logan. We got track 4 now. Track 4 now. We got track 4. Oh no! Here we go. Oh, that's kind of nice. We got some neoclassical elements though.
你取代前一秒我生命的空白，问题忽然找到答案。
That's weird that the iPad app doesn't allow you to do that. What are Apple doing, man? They're being a bit silly. Thank you though. I appreciate the thought, Tom. I appreciate the thought. Thank you anyways. It's all good. And cheers, Tupac. Okay, this is kind of curious. No, I'm not happy about this. Okay. So this lady, there's a lady singing, right? Yeah? There's a lady singing. Where is her mention? Where is her mention in this? Why is her name not here? I think that's really rude. I think that if you're giving someone a verse part, you need to mention them in your listing. I think that's important. Yeah, Bolin, I can tell that it is exclusively woman, man. And the reason I say this is because every single track I've heard that people have been like, oh, girls liked it, from like Jay Chow and stuff like that, has been that. It's a lot of the music aimed at like record labels are super duper cynical, man. and they love that kind of soft stuff. Lots of women like all sorts of music, don't get me wrong, but there was like a target audience that record labels tried to approach with this kind of stuff, man. Yeah, don't worry, I understand that women listen to stuff other than this. I'm not being sexist, okay? I should know. I have, you know, I have lady. This sounds like this is such a dumb thing for me to say, but I know women who listen to like electronica and like metal and stuff like that. There's even women who do the growlies in metal now, like you know, Arch Enemy and stuff like that. Okay, that's a nice little shift there. That's beautiful. I like the harmony between them. It's just such a shame that we don't know who the lady is because it's not on this platform. And Tom, thank you. I'm having a better time now. That my concern is that like no one would want to watch the live stream because I was doing someone who was controversial, or my other concern was that people would come and it would just be a complete dumpster fire, you know. I just full disclaimer as well. I can imagine that there's probably better songs than this. I'm just going with what Spotify's top 5 is. It's always a point of contention, but you know, it sounds a little bit generic. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna BS people. Was that Whistle voice? Damn, that is Whistle voice. Wow, man, that's phenomenal. I actually kind of prefer the lady's vocals to Leehom Wang's in this one. She's more engaging. And good job, Ballin. Good job, Ballin. Enjoy it, my dude. Thank you, Charles. And thank you, Martin. And RG, right, yeah, I am a little bit nervous about saying anything apart from if there's been any kind of crappy stuff that's going on. I don't approve of it. On your phone the entire time. Oh my goodness, dude. Oh, the organ came in. Little Phil. Little peppy little vocal melody here. Nice nice duet between these two. I think there's a bit of auto-tune on his voice. Now that's going to potentially irritate some people, but the reason I say that is because some of those notes are sounding a little bit too clean for my tastes. The way they sync up and rise like that. I know people might be pissed with me about that, but I can hear a tiny little bit of fixed modulation going on there. It's okay, I'll deal with it if you guys are grumpy with me. It's cool. Oh, that's a fun little progression there. I wasn't expecting it to sync down chromatically. Oh, guitar solo time. Bit of whistle voice here. That was an incredibly articulate guitar solo there. I love the ending of it. What I will give Leehom Wang is that I will give Leehom Wang the fact that he can shred. This is some of my favorite guitar work that I've heard in the top 5 Spotify from a solo artist. From a solo artist. I'm not going to pretend that I like this as much as Beyond or Shang Yusheng, but or even some of Mayday's stuff, but the Leehom as a solo musician is doing very well with this stuff. Okay. Yeah. The top worst songs and make a vote. I mean, I think honestly, like a fun thing for us to do could be to just find the worst songs, like to find a playlist of the worst songs on the internet or something like that. Yeah. Oh, a little bit of okay, extra layers. Dude, if it's not Leon playing the guitar, I'm gonna lose my mind. Did he at least write the solo? Please let it be him playing the actual guitar. Please. Because that's the thing retaining, that's retaining my interest in him at the moment. Ooh, J. Chow Worst 5. Ooh. There are going to be some hurt feelings. Potentially, anyways. Yeah, nice finish on that grand piano he was playing there. Nice resonance there. I would be so incredibly disappointed if he wasn't playing his own guitar solos, dude. Like, I liked the drums, the bass, the guitars, piano, the duet between these two musicians was fine. It was fine. You know, it was good. Yeah. My favorite song is Mao Swimming in Sangjiang River. That's cool, Tom. I vibe with that. Go for it. What do you think Jay Chow's worst song is? I love the tracks in the Mouse Swimming song, and there are a few tracks I absolutely hated. Good. Put your thoughts forward, guys. It's fun to talk. I'm having a good time now. This is a chill live stream. We don't have too much longer because there's just one more track after this, but I've had a good time today. And just before I go any further, thank you to everyone who came along to watch this live stream so far. I genuinely appreciate you coming along. Again, we've got an amazing show next time. We actually have another album. It's an Eason Chan album. We've got to figure out what Eason Chan album we're going to do. But Eason Chan will be next week. There will be a fan request next week as well. Yeah. We will be doing a Eason Chan album, and there'll be a fan request next week, and then we'll also 24th of September is gonna be tricky. Because that's the day I'm moving out. I'll probably do it and then like bail. Yeah, because I have to move out of this house by the 25th of September at the latest, you know. But we'll see how we go, okay? What are we doing? Yeah, lyrics, right? Lyrics. Oh no, it's another love song. How could we have ever expected it not to be a love song? Oh, your smile is a secret code. Damn, man. Damn. Live streaming moving. Oh, no. No, you guys don't need to see me being stressed. That would be both quality content and a dumpster fire. Am I getting kicked out or willingly moving out? I'm willingly moving out. I'm willingly moving out. Look, I'm moving into a big house, and it's a bigger house than the one I'm in. And at some point in the next few months, I'm going to have the house to myself. And I'm just going to be doing live streams and lessons and studio production and producing music and doing sort of label stuff. So yeah, it's going to be good. The YouTube stuff will continue, so don't worry, there'll be plenty more to come. But yeah, I'm moving house on that weekend, and it'll be good to get it done. I'm actually just moving across the street, so I'll be going backwards and forwards like a madman, you know. Come to Toronto, Canada. I would like to come to Toronto. I would like to go to Canada. I'm still waiting for the States to figure out what it wants to do with everything, you know. And yeah, moving sucks. I mean, like, I've got 2 studios here. I've got this one. I've got, like, all this behind me. And I have to move that into the second room. So I'm going to have a studio in one room and a studio in the other. They're separate purpose studios. And then I've also, like, got to, like, sort out stuff with, like, my other things, you know. But it's fine. It's okay. We'll get there in time, guys. The cool thing about moving is that usually you move into a better place, so then you get to enjoy it. You know? So hopefully you guys are safe and sound where you are. I'm looking forward to being safe and sound in a new house. And Nishka will be there too. And I may even adopt a new cat at some point. Maybe I'll get myself a kitten for Christmas, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna promise that, like, I will be super sociable when I come to Canada, but it will be cool to at least meet some people, like, some people through the channel, you know. I'm open to meeting people, just as long as everyone's chill, you know. So it's all good. Especially because if I was to go somewhere and this channel were to grow and I did like a fan meet, and I was like jet lagged, dude, I am not fun to be around when I'm jet lagged. So yeah, just a heads up. But yeah, what is this? My dreams aren't grand. I just want this moment to last forever. Colors again. Heaven is our embrace. Exist in heaven. Love is the throughway. Exist, I should be by your side. What does Leon Wang write about anything else outside of relationships? That's cool, Tom. Maybe I'll visit China one day. Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't mind that, you know. I like exploring. I like exploring places. You know, there is a lot of countries that I need to go to first, though. And the reason for that is, the reason I need to go to those countries first is because they've got very personal things to me. And I feel like I need to fulfill some stuff that I haven't gotten the opportunity to do until now. You know? Mid-Autumn Festival today. Best wishes. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I didn't... Yeah. Same to you, mate. Funny all of his hit songs talk about relationships and he foe. Yeah. Yeah. I wish he'd talk about something else. I suppose if that's my one criticism of Leon Wang, I wish he talked about other stuff. You know? Worked since. Yeah. Mooncakes are good. Man, I think Billy sent me some mooncakes back in the day. They're pretty dope. Yeah. Fun, you know, I'm happy to try new things, man. But look, I think this is another song about a relationship. We've got one more track to go, okay, guys? Shanghai is cool. That's good. I've never been to Shanghai, so maybe we can check that out sometime. And Shinyuda says, personally, I think Shay Xiao's later songs are too small and the patterns are not atmospheric enough. With his strength, he can achieve 100 points, but Jay just... Yeah, I'll give you that. Yep. Yep. Yep, right on the money. With the 8th album, I just wanted more from Jay. Because I got greedy, you know? I just got greedy. That's it. Dude, good job, Tom. Enjoy it. Enjoy the Mid-Autumn Festival, guys. Happy Moon Autumn Festival. Happy Moon Autumn Festival. I don't know enough about what it's about to say more than that. Yeah. But yeah, we got this track here. The top played track from Leehom Wang or Wang Leehom. Is this an early one? Okay, it's not an early one, but it's still quite enjoyed. Okay, we've got that similar kind of vibe to previous tracks. There's a little bit more flexibility on the vocal performance here. He's extending his range a little bit. Oh, dude, that vibrato is phenomenal. This is a strong track for... Yeah, this is easily his strongest track on the list. I think it's the additional orchestral arrangement behind it. This just seems like it's elevated. And the guitar coming in here, great choice. Great choice of letting that hang a little bit. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Oh, did you hear that little on the drum kit then with those cymbals? Good, I'm glad, Benjamin. Great ascension with those strings. Fan choice, great choice for those tom fills. Yeah. I think his vocals are too thin in the mix. There's like lots of high and upper mids, but there's no like, ooh, there's no heft to it. And it's like when they EQ'd it, it was to allow space for everything else, maybe at the detriment of a bit of extra oomph in there, you know? This one best song of the year. Well, that's just me not knowing what I talk about then. You know, I'm not being salty or like kind of bitchy or anything, like just like there's a little bit of mid-range resonance, but I feel like there could have been more. It's very pretty though. Sup, Astray Bye, and Benjamin Yang, and lots of different people have tuned in today. That's nice. It's nice to have lots of different people tune in. Great dynamic range here with those little cymbal hits and the parts on the piano and the ghost notes and just the little bits of nuance there that show exquisite attention to detail from Leehom Wang and everyone else involved in this. I don't know why specifically this feels different to the rest. I think we had passable sort of semi-generic chord progressions that I was already familiar with, well, in the previous tracks, and with this one, it's almost like we have so many different elements to the arrangement, so many different ingredients in that mix, and the combination with the different sort of like voicing choices from the strings and the orchestral parts, it just seems more epic because of that. I don't know if that makes sense. Oh, so he's one of those dudes, Paul, who was like earlier back when they started. Better back when they started. Oh, well, congrats on him for directing a movie. The 2005 best album. Yeah, life's kind of weird, I suppose. You know, like, I think when you're going through all those terrible situations, your brain's like, no, this is painful. I can't do it. I need to stop. Help, help, help. But if you can get through it, and as long as you're headed somewhere positive, right? Sometimes you look back on it and you're like, actually, that sucked at the time, but it was worth it now. Yeah, I'll be honest. I think I've heard some tracks that are similar to this from Jay Chou, and I rather controversially feel that, well, I don't think it's fair I don't think it's fair to compare them, actually. I don't know, like, with Jay Chou and Leehom, they're like onions and tomatoes to me. Even if they make similar music, their vocal styles, their influences, they both make ballads and cutesy kind of stuff and interesting sort of like, I mean, obviously Jay does a lot like of rapping and stuff like that, so that's a point of contention, you know. The sad thing about some musicians is that they start original and then they realize that they're a business, and so they then try to brand themselves in a way that's better, but in reality it's just designed to make more money. And then once that hype has died down, all they're stuck with is trendy tracks which were current for a year and then maybe aren't as good anymore. Leehom was always Jay Chou's competitors. Okay. So they were always like neck and neck. Well, I mean, to be honest, I think we know who won. I think we know who won that little thing long term. You know? Yeah. I think Leehom has really positive things about him from in terms of like a musicality concept, you know. I'm gonna talk about why I think his music doesn't necessarily resonate. I think with what I've listened to from Leehom today, barring this specific song, the production is over sterilized. I think that it's just too clean. It almost sounds like they're scraping at it to get rid of any kind of inch of humanity beyond it. I think that Leehom Wang is a better vocalist, and that's actually a detriment. Because he's in that place where he's not completely unbelievable, but he's also not like terrible. He's really competent, but not quite like virtuosic or whatever like that. In my opinion, he's a great singer, but what I mean by that is when you're in as a singer, you've either got to have a personality that's going to attract people. You've got to be the absolute best at something. If you want to attract people, you got to have a wide variety of different things that mesh together. Leehom's a fantastic singer, but there's a lot of fantastic singers. Yeah, I think that the raw comment is important. I think that's what I was talking about with like the vocals and this latest track we talked about. I think that Jay Chow went through the gauntlet of his vocals not being where people needed them to be. And part of that made him approachable and likable because he was not perfect. Musicians succeed when they are not perfect. Nobody likes listening to a robot sing a melody, right? Nobody likes listening to excessive autotune unless it's deliberate, like a deliberate choice of it's like kind of revolutionary. I mean, it's with hip hop and rap, autotune's like a meme now. It's so intense that it's almost like, yeah, you know it's autotune because it's an instrument. But yeah, Leom's stuff is just too clean sounding. There's no angst to it. There's no grit. There's no frustration to it. It is all the stuff is about similar subject matter, so it's somewhat predictable. And the moment that your music is predictable as a musician, you're screwed. But that is also me articulating myself with a lack of understanding about the rest of his material. So he could talk about a whole lot of other stuff and I wouldn't know. I want him to talk about other stuff. I need it. I need it to have thematic range in order to be curious. Jay Chow's stuff, I suppose that's the strength of Jay Chow's stuff, you know? I think that's the strength of Jay Chow's stuff is that he is a variety show. You never know what Jay Chow is going to put out. You know there's going to be a few key things like ballads, maybe a rap track, maybe a cell phone ad in there, maybe a complete weird, complete batshit and insane song in there that he's just like, yeah, I want that to be there just because I want me to have some sort of input in this. But you never know what you're gonna get with Jay. With Leehom, you do, and it's not as interesting. No, it is in the sense that you know he's going to do certain types of music, absolutely. And I cannot comment on anything beyond the eighth album, so maybe his music does get more predictable. But at the same time, yeah. Look, we're gonna find out anyways. We're gonna look through the lyrics here for this track. The things you don't know. I'm so sick of this. I'm so bored. I'm so bored. I'm so bored of this. I think that's it. This is so disinteresting to me. I'm so disinterested. Uninteresting to me. I'm disinterested in it, not disinteresting. Because it's just the similar subject matter for 5 songs. Why would I want to hear the same story 5 times? Well, from some little different angles. You know? Why would anyone want that? I'm not saying that relationships are one-dimensional and that the only thing you have is this. But, like, why doesn't he talk about his family? Like, to be fair, maybe he doesn't want to talk about his family at the moment. Why doesn't he talk about sports or, like, I don't know, movies or, like, something that's not a relationship issue? Show another angle to yourself as a human being. But girls aren't stupid. I feel you, Desmond, but girls aren't stupid. Girls like different stuff too. Girls like lots of different stuff, man. Lots of girls I know have really varied interests. I think that the thing that kind of makes it difficult to ascertain what's going on is what's fashionable at the time, you know? That's great. The thing is that I want to know what his top 5 is according to Spotify, just so I can get a rough idea. And if his stuff's insanely different, it kind of just goes to show the state of the industry, doesn't it? LC says you need to review some Western artists in between Chinese ones. Otherwise, you're going to be bored and burned out soon. Yeah, probably. Going to tell you guys a secret. Okay, I'm on 4 hours sleep at the moment because I have been so busy with stuff recently. But I have been taking care of myself, so I'm fine. I haven't eaten since 9 o'clock today because I have been so busy doing stuff. But I'm okay. I would like to hear his Khalil Fong collaboration. Yeah, well, there you go. Girls that like different music go to Jay Chow. I suppose here's it in a nutshell. Leon Wang is an attractive man. He sells a fantasy of talking to the listener about their relationship. Girls might want to have a relationship with him, however way you feel about him and relationships. There's a lot of teenage girls that may have resonated with that and thought, yeah, I want to know that guy. I mean, if the thing that not nearly to the extent, but Chris Brown, like when the stuff happened between him and Rihanna, when the stuff with Chris Brown and Rihanna occurred, like, there were women that found out that Chris Brown did that, and he admitted to it, and they were like, get with me because I don't mind if you beat me. There were women messaging Chris Brown, begging him to get with them, because even if he was like patently, he was accused of assaulting Rihanna, right? They were gonna run the gauntlet because they'd be the one to change him, Yeah, exactly. He was a prince. And he was marketed like that and labeled like that. I'm not comparing Leon Wang to Chris Brown, but people, when they want to have that fantasy, they'll go for it, man. Whatever shape or form. And that's the role of a record label. No, Elsie, no shade, man. Like if you feel that way, that's cool, man. That's chill. Even if I thought that was the case, I wouldn't say it. Like, I wouldn't be dishonest, but I also, like, it's not a good look for me to say that I think women only listen to some type of music. It's not a good look for me. It's not a good look, man. Luckily, I know a lot of people, and they all listen to different types of music. But anyways, look. Conclusion time. This has been a complete, intense, emotionally draining live stream, not because of you, but because of the fact that I have been listening to two things. I've been listening to the information I've received about Leon Wang or Wang Leehom, and I've also been listening to the music. I have not felt so little listening to music in my time doing these top 5 Spotify live streams. These songs are incredibly well produced. They are polished ballads and love songs, and it's clear to understand what they're about. They are, monothematic. They have like one main type of story that's meant to appeal to a certain fantasy or a certain sort of archetype. And I'm not it. I am sure as heck not it. I don't feel anything about this. And I think that it's kind of proof that no matter how good you get at an instrument, no matter how perfectly you play it, if you don't care about it, it doesn't matter. You could have the best mixed, best performed, best recorded track in the entire galaxy, dude. But if you talk about something that people don't care about, they will not bother with you. And what I mean by that is, I think for anyone wanting to learn from Leon Wang today and the top 5 live stream that we've done today, thank you again to everyone for watching. It's that the most important thing you can do as a musician is make music that is authentic to you, that actually talks about something you deeply care about. Because I can tell that I don't think Leon Wang's phoning it in, but I also don't get the impression that he's super invested in it. I think for Leon Wang, when he sings, I don't feel the emotion behind it. It's like he's singing stuff to try and elicit emotion from a listener, as opposed to feeling stuff which then inadvertently and indirectly elicits an emotion because it's authentic. I even wonder, this could be a really ballsy observation. I even wonder if Leon Wang and Jay Chow are even emotionally, like, with their emotional intelligence, if they're even in the same ballpark. Because I just cannot fathom how little I felt listening to him. I feel like if any of this stuff was real to him, you know, I feel incredibly cynical. And that's not me thinking less of a person. I think the only defense of Leon is that he has a target audience and has worked out for him. It's fucking boring, though. It's so fucking boring. And excuse the language, it's just so boring. I don't care about it. I don't care about him and these stories he's made about relationships. And as a reviewer, you need to make me care. You know, I want to care about this, but Leon Wang didn't sell it. He sung it pristinely. It was a flawless performance in most situations. I think the lady vocalist in the fourth track was better than Leon. Like those whistle voices were something new, and I was like, wow, what is this that we have today? You know, like maybe I'm just going insane. But look, we have Eason Chan next Saturday. We have SP fan requests next Sunday. The next SP top 5 fan request will be Amazing Show. These are all looking very positive. And while I may not have seemed super duper intensely excited during this live stream today, just say the truth, Logan. I don't know. Am I not saying the truth? I don't know if I'm not saying the truth. I thought I was being honest about it, but that's okay. Yeah, that's it. That's the live stream for today. That's cool. Keep doing that, man. Hikaru Utada and Taylor Swift are dope. They're great. But we've got some fun stuff coming up. Thank you very much for watching this live stream. There's SP Top 5 Spotify for Leon Wang. Dude, I haven't talked enough about him as a musician. Let's keep this part short, though, just before we finish. Because I do a proper conclusion. His vocals are great. Stories are kind of eh. The structure of the tracks is balladesque for the most part. There wasn't anything phenomenal or fascinating. The guitar solos were the highlight. The guitar solos were the best part of this entire music. And if he didn't play those solos, I'd be really sad. The instrumental performances were flawless. Lots of different instruments and fun in the arrangement. I can't tell how much was him and how much was other things, but it was masterful regardless. The production was solid and pristine and clean and very cheery and palatable. You could swallow it easily. I'm so tired. I honestly, like, I'm less tired than I know I might seem tired. I'm less tired than I have been when I had 8 hours sleep. I might just be wired. I don't know. But look, it's fine, all right? I still think we did okay today. It's just exhausting listening to music and I want to care about it and it doesn't actually happen. It's disappointing when I know how talented he is. But it's okay. We did it. We did it today. We did the live stream for Leon Wang. I'm playing Elden Ring later on. And by the way, I genuinely like chatting to y'all about this stuff. It's my one of my favorite things to do. I enjoy doing these live streams on Saturdays. I like hanging out with everyone here genuinely, without a filter. That's why I have to be honest when I don't like stuff. Because you can't trust me if I'm bullshitting you, you know? But yeah. Tyler's stream. I'll go get some pizza after this. I'll go have a beer and I'll go play some Elden Ring and then I'll go conk out. Okay, it'll be good. Let's blame somebody for relax. Yeah. I'm gonna go. thank you very much for watching this live stream, Leon Wang. Hopefully you enjoyed it if you did enjoy this live stream. And I don't know how many people did. Please do go show. If you like him, if you like Leon Wang, go show him some love via his various social medias and Spotify. If you don't, then just don't. just don't. Just don't. Stay cool and stay safe. And please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you guys next Saturday for the Eastern Chan album, Spiderhands Out. We did it, Shredders. We got through the Leon Wang one. Good job, everybody. Good job. Good job. Oh, and thank you for being chill. Thank you for being good. I really appreciate everyone being respectful in the chat. You're awesome, okay?